in this episode we're going to try on the poncho. Now, I've only tried it on a few times at home, but here goes. So, the ridge line is the back, and the logo name is the back. Fitted there. Now, hopefully you can still hear me. You have tabs, which you do that one up there, and then you come up one more and you do that tab up there, and that gives you an arm, and now you have one very big spacious poncho. The back, I believe from when I tried it at home, is longer than the front, and that is kind of eliminated when you're having a pack on. So when you have a pack on, it's not quite as long as this. It does come with some features. Now, with my old poncho, you probably saw my makeshift tightening section thing, whatever it's called. But this one comes with it. So you have one draw cord here to draw up the front, but you get one at the back here somewhere. So you can tighten up the front and the back, and that is not a bad fit. That moves as well. I'll stop moving in case there's too much rattling. That moves as well as any expensive jacket or thingy for a hood. And really, in poncho mode, that's as much as there is to to say. You clearly have a significant amount of room in here. Ron did supply this bungee cord. I finally got that draw cord untangled, and how I did is I had it completely loose and then sort of did a great big toss over the back of my head, and that kind of did a good job. And then when you've got it done up like this, again, I hope the microphone isn't rattling here, you have this then. Right, for doing the hood up, which you need to do to pitch it, you have poppers here, which I think you would have seen inside. So you do these poppers up, just press them together, and then what I do is I fold the hood here, this piece here, and then roll it tightly forward. And then after you've rolled it forward, and this little piece here, which has the bungee cord on it, I also tuck in. And then once you roll it forward, you just put this strap just to hold it in position. Okay, well, this is one setup system. Now, I've not exactly pitched it in the best place. This is literally just to show you the shape. This is not a where to pitch video, clearly, because you're not going to be able to sleep in there with all that stuff. But it's just to give you a rough idea as to what you can do. And you can pitch the back as I've done here. I put a peg straight to the ground and straight to the ground there, and then I've put the pole through the loop And then this bungee cord here, I've attached to this up here, wrapped it good and proper around there, and down to a line down there. So that gives you, you know, some height at the back with it being shut off completely. That is certainly one pitch. And if you know, were just expecting some breeze and very little wind, that's probably, you know, quite a good pitch to have. Because even here, bearing in mind I'm sitting straight on the ground and not on an airbed or anything, but even here, some way back under this hanging cord, I've got head height here. So there's actually would be quite a reasonably comfortable place, you know, to sleep. Like I said, obviously the sides are very high, so if you did have blowing rain, then clearly you're going to be in a bit of bother. But my nose. But apart from that, and this would probably go quite well with the, you know, with the bivvy, to be honest. Right, I've lowered the center pole a little bit, as low as this pole will go. Actually, if you want lower than this, then you're going to have to use a different pole, or maybe turn the pole upside down and do some other various jiggery pokery things. But it just gives you a rough idea as to, you know, how much room you have in here. And it's not a bad, for a poncho anyway, it's not a bad amount of room. And you can see that the back is pegged to the ground. And of course we have just a little bit of lassie as well, of course. You can do various other different pitches. You can do the usual A-frame pitch, which you would have seen in my other videos. You can obviously do a lean-to pitch, which you would have seen. I've just concentrated on this pitch because this is like quite a unique pitch where the back, you know, can be pitched directly, you know, to the ground like this. So I've tended to concentrate on this one. This wall here is sagging down, you know, just a little bit. If you have another line, you could probably put another line there. It's always worth carrying more line with you than you ever need. Bizarrely, this side isn't doing it. So it's obviously something to do with the way that I've pitched it. But with something like this, it's always worth carrying with you extra lines anyway. And then if you do, have, you know, a tiny bit of sag like there, you could put an extra line on there, or maybe take that one away, move it down there and have two this side maybe. And probably would have paid to make this pole a little bit longer so that this pole isn't touching, but it is touching, but it doesn't matter because I've put some tissue up there just to protect the top of that. But I've basically pitched the bivvy, which you saw in the bivvy video, and I basically just put the poncho kind of over the top of it. And I have to say, I think it's quite effective. The wind is due to be coming from the north or northeast, which is approximately in this direction. So wind could very well get underneath there, but I've more pitched it, you know, for general protection rather than specific protection. And the main reason why I've pitched it at all is I don't really want to spend part of the evening in there and then, you know, just before I go to sleep, come out here and, you know, get settled down here and go to sleep. That's not really quite my idea of fun, to be honest. So I'd rather, when I get into bed, I'm in bed and then that's it. And when I fall asleep, I fall asleep. And I like to cook and I like to eat, obviously, because I still do cooking. And I like to watch a film. And obviously, if I don't have some coverage, I'm not going to be able to do most of those things, especially watch a film if there's dew falling. I don't want the tablet getting wet. So I'm going to do a separate video on the Pro Poncho. This is the MLD or Mountain Laurel Designs Pro Poncho. So you would have seen my Cuban fiber poncho, which I've used out here several times now, including that one infamous time in the rain where I had to do a bit of rigging on it to make it more waterproof. So this is the Pro Poncho. I've got it pitched at the moment in a fairly basic configuration, and it's not for sleeping under this configuration. This was simply to get some seam sealant along that one central line, which I've done. Because the one slight mistake that I made with the Sil Nylon Trailstar a long time ago was I sealed it at home without it being pitched, and the sealant didn't really sort of seal it as brilliantly as being pitched out properly like this with the seams taut. It sealed it, but not as good as I would have liked. So hopefully this has sealed this properly. I still do have that Sil Nylon Trailstar. I just love the Cuban one so much. I tend to always, you know, use that. So this is the poncho. This is basically just a very basic pitch configuration. Probably wouldn't sleep under it like that, although no real reason why not. And to be honest, you probably could. That's the head end there, because you can see the logo there. With this one, you do get additional features over and above the Cuban one. You do get this tie-out point here, which you don't get on the Cuban version. The hood has poppers, so you can actually close the hood off, completely close it. Whereas with the Sil Nylon version, sorry, with the Cuban version, you kind of got to sort of tighten it up into a ball and tie a knot in it. And with this one, there's poppers, which you can see there, which you saw on the inside, and then you can roll the hood up, and then there's a tie off or a loopy thing here, a clip thing here, which you can clip, you know, to tighten it up and tidy it up. You get a tie off thing here, so you could theoretically use that just to pull the middle out a little bit. And then, as I say, one at the back that you can use to turn the back into a drop down thing. You get additional tie out points here, there, and then obviously 2 more or 3 more along that seam there. So what I've done for this pitch, I just put pegs straight into the corners, into the ground, and then this normal cord and one of these hooks like this, which helps make it quicker for doing up, I've done on the corners. And you can do that for a super quick or relatively super quick pitch.